guys. The song is totally apropos for how I feel today. I would love to be sedated right at this
to get Noah from the hospital and take him to the new residential program that he's going into. It's like a group home for kids with developmental disabilities, as well as mental health challenges, behaviors, that kind of stuff. So it's not the greatest fit by any stretch of the imagination. It's not at all where I would choose to put him if we had really any choice in the matter, but at this point we have to place him here because it's not safe for him to be at home. So frustrating when you have a child with FASD for so many different reasons, but I think when you have a child who is extreme on the spectrum, I'm so sorry, I have to put you guys back here. I know that sucks, I'm sorry. But when you have a child with severe special needs who needs to be in a residential program because they're not safe at home and you're not able to give them the intensive structure that they need in order to be successful, you know, it's disheartening, and it's, you know, it calls on so many different emotions within yourself as a parent that you're not able to provide the type of help that your child needs, and that you have to send them elsewhere for that help. That just goes against, it's very counterintuitive to parenting in general, especially when you are a super, you know, we're very pro-attachment parenting, or at least I am, and so like I didn't really let my babies cry it out. I didn't set them down for very long when they were little. I usually wore them or held them as much as I could, and just really kept them really close by. Not that I didn't foster independence in them, that's not it. It's just kind of the attachment school of thought is if you hold them and nurture them and come to them when they're calling, when they're crying, that they'll actually learn how to be independent quicker because their needs will be getting met. And I know there's different philosophies out there, or different theories about crying it out and not crying it out, but this is just what was most effective and most like innate with me. Like that was the parenting style that resonated the most with me and just was the most comfortable for me. And so so to go from that extreme to having to put your child in somebody else's care, especially your child that's vulnerable, has been just so beyond challenging and harder than I thought I could even begin to handle. And so I always said that the day that I had to put Noah into a residential program was the day that they were going to have to commit me to a hospital, because I would just absolutely lose it, because I just can't imagine, you know, I just couldn't imagine this happening. I couldn't imagine doing this to my child. But in doing this for him, it's also helping him because it's giving him the help that I can't give him at home, and it's also protecting, probably more importantly, protecting our other children at home who, you know, it's when you have a child with extreme special needs, that child tends to, whether or not it's intended, that child takes up so much of your time and your energy, and so by default they become, you know, kind of the priority child, and that is obviously so not fair to the other kids. And not only that, but it also becomes a safety issue when you have a child with behavioral challenges that is getting bigger and stronger and has a really difficult time holding it together. And so, you know, again, just a horrible, horrible situation. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And I probably would have been judgmental several years ago of anybody else that had chosen to do what we've done, because I wouldn't have understood the intensity of the situation. And so, anyways, so that's where we're at. I am on my way once again to pick Noah up and take him to this new residential facility that we're not totally excited about, but we just have to trust that this is going to be the best place for him for now. My dream is to someday have a residential facility for children like Noah that have extreme FASD, where we can offer them the types of help and interventions that are helpful to these kiddos, especially kids who you know are not going to ever be able to integrate safely and positively into the community. And that's not me being pessimistic, that's just me being realistic, that Noah most likely will never live, sorry, there's like a chair in the middle of the freeway. Noah will most likely never live independently. He most likely will not be able to hold down a job or have deep, meaningful relationships. His disability is lifelong and it's intense, and it is a brain-based disability. It is a permanent brain damage that cannot be fixed, his brain cannot be rewired. It's just, there's actual, on a molecular level, there's things that never formed in his brain that will never form, and he will maybe be able to find some ways to cope and do some things better, but for the most part, he will always be extremely impulsive. He will always have a really difficult time focusing and paying attention. He will always be quick to anger, and again, when you're quick to anger and you have impulse issues that cannot be treated with medication or traditional types of therapy, it sets you up for the criminal justice system. It sets you up for all kinds of just really bad situations. And plus, he's very easily manipulated. And so what my dream is, as I started to say, is to have a group home somewhere out, like in the country somewhere, where these kids can be protected and they can live a more sheltered life, but also learn life skills, learn how to, you know, garden, learn how to tend animals, learn how to grow things, and work with their hands and keep them really busy. That's one thing that we've noticed with Noah, is that if his hands are busy, if his brain is busy, he is a somewhat content Noah. He's a lot more manageable, and so it's just so important to keep them active and engaged. And when they become bored is when really bad things tend to happen. So if we could have a facility somewhere like that, you know, where it could be funded by, you know, whether it's funded by the state or the county or regional center or a nonprofit agency, but just someplace where these kids can go and have a chance at a future, you know, that is, like I said, that's protected, and where they can still see. I just need to really pray about and think about and try to figure out if there's a way to make that happen in some capacity. So anyways, so that is it, I guess, for now. That's my big, like, update. Sorry to be kind of cryptic on some of it. It's just, like I said, I don't want to get into a ton of specifics because it's just, it was a very ugly situation and not one that I wish to ever go through again or deal with again. So, alright, I will probably update you guys after I drop Noah off. This afternoon I have to drive, it's like an hour and a half to get to where Noah's at now, and then another hour and a half to drive him to where he's going, and then by that time it's probably going to be like late this afternoon, and the traffic coming back to our house is going to be really bad, so it'll probably be another hour and a half home. So today's going to suck in terms of driving and time and stuff, and I told Rich last night, I'm like, I'm going to need like a serious like treat of some kind, or I don't know, something to look forward to after I do this today, because I hate doing this. This is like my 4th or 5th time of taking him to a new facility, and every time I do it, it just feels horrible and icky, and I know it's the best thing, I know it's what we need to do, but I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, and yeah. So anyways, alright guys, I will see you in a little bit.